Muslim businessman community member. But this was not a case in our Asia Bibi. We have a federal minister also, minority minister, who is a Catholic Christian. Nobody came forward to scratch any FIR against Christian. When there are procedural laws, that nobody can charge you in any FIR under blasphemy law unless it is not brought in the knowledge of higher police officials, and the committee don't decide that, okay, the case is factual, charge him under blasphemy law. But what happens in Pakistan? A small sub-inspector of police, he can just put you on death row on a complaint of any Muslim. He just wants to settle any score with you. So the Lahore High Court, where that lady filed an appeal, Asia Bibi, one Muslim petitioner came also in this court, in that High Court, and he said, oh, how President of Pakistan can pardon a blasphemer? The Chief Justice of Lahore High Court orders on the same petition, and he said, okay, President of Pakistan cannot pardon this blasphemer. Let her wait for the trial. And they haven't fixed the trial date also. And you can see the whole judiciary reacts or issues orders on applications, petitions and lawsuits of Christians in Pakistan. On my petition or other petition, whichever were filed against any discriminatory law in higher courts, the judges said, okay, we cannot repeal it. Go to the parliament. Parliament can repeal these laws. The judges cannot. But in Asia Bibi case, the High Court bench gives order, okay, if the President of Pakistan has constitutional powers, he cannot use his powers and he cannot pardon this Christian woman. I always appreciate the foreign organizations, missionary organizations, those who have supported our cause. They have covered our persecution incident. But I am also much surprised when the blasphemy law, which is the main cause of violence against Christians, we have a very different Pakistan when we don't have Fourth Amendment in the Constitution, when Zulfikar Ali Bhutto turns Ahmadi Muslims to be the minority. We don't have the same situation in Pakistan before Ziaullah comes and he enforces Hudud Ordinance, law of evidence, law of compensation with the presidential order of 1976. We don't have this situation before unless 1986 when 8th Amendment came and all those ordinances of a military ruler, they were legalized in the 8th Amendment of Pakistan. Therefore, we have always requested that now it's a time that we must stop globalization of blasphemy law, and for that we have written a lot of letters to the American government also, the US administrations, to the different leaders that don't support this law, and we are surprised that you second the defamation of religion resolution in United Nations Human Rights Commission. Pakistan presented that resolution. Cairo, the Egyptians, they prepared that resolution. Pakistan presented on behalf of OIC, but unfortunately, US administration, he seconded that resolution. If the blasphemy laws go globalize, there will be dire consequences of that blasphemy law, and we appeal to all, everybody, and we write to everybody that please help and stop this resolution unless it comes in the General Assembly of United Nations. About Asia Bibi, we have also written to the Secretary General of United Nations. We have presented him petitions. We just demonstrated on 2nd December also before the UN offices in New York. We demonstrated on 10th of December also before the United Nations and before our Pakistani Consulate General in New York. And we have demanded, okay, give pardon to this Christian woman. Christmas is on hand. She has 5 daughters. Let her enjoy Christmas with her husband and with her children. And this is what we are appealing to everybody. And from Mr. Ramila, Robert, and Mr. Ali, we also want that you play a role for the release of this Christian woman and our efforts in Pakistan to repeal the blasphemy law. Because this is a law which came through an ordinance. We don't have any representation in that home where blasphemy law was legislated. We don't have any member in that select committee which prepared this law. We have ironic situation in Pakistan. I can say that when my forefathers, they voted for this country in 1948 when House was of 48, we have 4 reserved Christian seats in that legislative assembly in 1948, 1947. But now when the House is 342, we have still same 4 seats, but not by election, which we are electing our representative in 1948 to 1973. Now, any Christians, we have good relation with any Muslim political party, or Muslim leader thinks that he will speak our voice, they nominate him in National Assembly, they nominate him in provincial assemblies, and our assembly is voiceless on Christian persecution. So we know that our unity, the unity of Pakistani Christians, is the only solution to repeal this law and to secure our equal basic democratic rights in country, Pakistan. We have lost our voice because our representation is not proportional to our population. And God forbid somebody told us that Pervez Musharraf imposed this selection system on us on intimation of US Commission on Religious Freedom and other institutions of United States government. Unless before we were electing our own nomination, our own people who were anyhow speaking somehow in the Assembly. Again, thank you very much, Dr. Lamela, Dr. Spencer, Ali, and everybody.